Hare in this we have that song Madhuram Madhure BP. I don't think it is there in this. Do you have the other one? That Gopinath books. Madhuram Madhure BP. Okay, that one. How do you hold? A hard copy is not. Okay, ठीक है, give that. How will you hold it? Madhuram madhurebhyopi mangalebhyopi mangalam pavanam pavanebhyopi Harirnamayva kevalam Madhuram madhurebhyopi सर्वं मायामयं जगत् सत्यं सत्यं पुनः सत्यं हरेर्नामैव केवलं न ब्रह्मपर्यन्तं सत्यं सत्यं पुनः सत्यं स गुरुः स पिता चापि सा माता बान्धवोऽपि सः शिक्षयेच्छे सदा स्मर्तुं हरेर्नामैव केवलं स गुरुः विश्वासः दारुद्धो भविष्यति कीर्तनीयमतो बाल्यात् हरेर्नामैव केवलं विश्वासः दारुद्धो भविष्यति सदा वसितत्र यत्र भागवता जनः गायन्ति भक्तिभावेन हरेर्नामैव केवलं हरे यत्र भागवता दुःखतरं यतः काचार्थं विश्रुतं रत्ना हरेर्नामैव केवलं Krishna Krishna Hare श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य, बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य, सेवर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरापुरी धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, भक्ति देवी की, श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा गोपाल की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. The meaning of this song is more sweet than all other sweet things, more auspicious than all other auspicious things, the greatest purifier of all purifying things. The holy name of Shri Hari alone is everything. The entire universe, from exalted Brahma down to the lowly clump of grass, is a product of the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. The only thing that is reality, reality, again I say reality, the holy name of Shri Hari alone is everything. That person is a true preceptor, or a true father, a true mother, and a true friend also, only if they teach one to always remember the holy name of Shri Hari alone is everything. There is no certainty when the last breath will come and put an abrupt halt to all one's material plans. Therefore, it is wise to always practice chanting from very childhood. The holy name of Shri Hari alone is everything. Lord Hari eternally dwells in that place where truly exalted, spiritually advanced souls sing in the mood of pure devotion. The holy name of Shri Hari alone is everything. Aho, what a sorrow! What a great sorrow! More painful than any other misery in the world, mistaking it as a mere piece of glass. The people have forgotten this jewel. The holy name of Shri Hari alone is everything. It should be heard again and again with one's ears. It should be uttered over and over with one's voice. It should be perpetually sung and sung anew. The holy name of Shri Hari alone is everything. It makes the entire universe seem insignificant as a blade of grass. It splendorously reigns supreme over all. It is full of eternally conscious divine ecstasy. It is supremely pure. The holy name of Shri Hari alone is everything. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki jai. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to our evening continuation of the discussion that we began in the morning. Improving japa by avoiding 10 offenses. Offense in one word translation is disrespect. So one should learn to respect. How to respect for each and every offense that was discussed. But basically the first offense is towards preachers of the holy name. Second offense is towards the Supreme Lord by equating his names with the names of the demigods. Third offense is to Guru by disobeying him. Fourth offense is to Vedic literatures. Fifth offense is to the glories of the holy name. Like that, basically all are offenses, that means all are disrespect. So one should learn to respect. Sakale sammana gurite shakati dehanatha jatha jatha tabito gaibo harinama sukhe aparadha behata. Thakur Bhaktivinoda is guiding us by saying that sakale sammana gurite shakati, let me be able to respect everyone, which requires great strength. Earlier also I told, like for lifting this laptop requires some strength. More strength will be required for lifting this table. Maybe more strength for lifting this Vyasasana. And to lift that altar will take all the more strength. But the greatest strength is required to be able to respect everyone. Because one has to lift a huge mountain of false ego from one's heart, keep it aside, and then one can respect others. So which is very difficult for us. That's why he is begging from spiritual master. Sakale sammana gurite shakati dehanatha jatha jata. Oh my dear Lord Master, spiritual master, please give me this strength. Tabe to gaibo harinama sukhe. Then only one can chant the holy name happily. Now we are chanting holy name not so happily. Somehow we are chanting mechanically, but happily we will be able to chant only when we give up all types of disrespects and are able to respect everyone. Tabito gaibo harinama sukhe aparadha habehata, when the aparadhas are destroyed. So as long as aparadhas are there, that long one is not able to respect others and is not able to chant happily. One may go on chanting but not happily. So morning we discussed the 3 offenses, first 3. So now fourth in Sanskrit is called as Shruti Shastra Nindanam. To blaspheme the Vedic literatures or literatures in pursuance of the Vedic version. He says that there are 4 defects in every human being. What are they? Imperfect senses. Karana pato. Karana means senses. Apato means no expertise, no perfection. So imperfect senses. That leads to illusion. That is called as Bhram. No, that is called as Pramad. Bhram. One falls in illusion, and that leads to Bhram. That is propensity to commit mistakes. and that leads to vipralipsa for most of the human beings, that they cheat, which is the only thing devotees need to give up out of the four, because other three are going to get overcome eventually. But devotee should be free from cheating propensity. We are honest, that we are not pure devotees, we are fallen souls, we have all anarthas, like that devotees admit, and they don't cheat. Then they can practice, because honesty is the best policy. Saralata is Vaishnavata, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would say. So thus devotees are free from cheating propensity. To the degree they are free from cheating propensity, to that degree they make fast progress in spiritual life, despite being impure. So one needs to be free from this tendency. So because we have these four defects, we cannot gain knowledge of the Supreme by our own selves. So we need to take shelter of scriptures, which are given by Krishna only, who is free from all the four defects. That's why scriptures are called as apaurushaya, of divine origin. They don't have origin by written by some ordinary person. They are written by pure Supreme Personality of Godhead. So thus we need to take shelter of scriptures. In Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Mangal, it is said that Maya Mugdha Jivera Nahi Swataha Krishna Gyan Jivera Kalyana Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. Maya Mugdha Jivera Nahi Swataha Krishna Gyan. The living entity who is conditioned or who is enamored by illusory potency of Maya, he doesn't have knowledge about himself. By himself he cannot have knowledge about himself. So what to do? Jivera Grupai Kaila, out of causeless mercy on all living entities, Krishna Kaila Veda Puran. Krishna wrote down all the Vedic literatures in the form of Ved Vyas. So what are the teachings of the Vedas? We all know, but there is one Supreme Lord. Lord is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, equipped with all the energies. He is Akhila Rasamrita Murti. He is the source of all the rasas. All the jivas are the Lord's eternal parts and parcels. The jivas are eternal, some of them are bound, Nitya Baddha, and some others are liberated always, they are Nitya Siddha. Other jivas are eternally liberated, they worship, they are Nitya Siddha. Krishna exists with all his potencies. Three are main potencies, Antaranga, Bahiranga and Tatastha Shakti. The jiva is one with the Lord in quality, but different in quantity, that is Achintya Veda Vedattva. The Vedas describe the ninefold process of devotional service: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So who perfected through hearing process? Parikshit Maharaj. Who through chanting? Shukdev Goswami. Who through remembering? Prahlad Maharaj. Then Padasevanam? Lakshmi ji. Then Archanam? Ambrish Maharaj. Ambrish Maharaj through all. Prutu Maharaj. Vandanam? Akrurji. While coming from Mathura to Vrindavan, he was always bowing down to the lotus footprints imprinted in the dust of Vrindavan. Then Dasyam, Hanumanji, Sakhyam, Arjun, and Atmanivedanam, Bali Maharaj. And all nine were exhibited by Ambrish Maharaj. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayor vacham sivai kunta gunanu varnane karo harir mandira marjanadishu shrutim chakara chuta satkathodaye mukunda linga laya darshane drusho tadbhrutya gatra sparshyanga sangamam granam cha tatpada saroja saurabhe shrimat tulasyam rasanam tadarpite pado hare kshetra padanusarpane shiro rishikesha pada bivandane Kamam tu dase natu kama kamya yaduttama shloka gunashraya ratihi. So these wonderful three verses in 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describe how he engaged all of his senses in 9 processes of devotional service. Hands for cleaning the temple of the Lord, head for bowing down before the Lord, legs for using legs for going to the temple of the Lord, then ears for hearing the glories of the Lord, nose for smelling the flowers offered to the Lord, tongue for tasting the prasadam of the Lord. Like that, all 9 he used. The first 7 of these 9 processes belong to Vaidhi Bhakti. They establish Sambandha Gyan. The last 2, Sakhyam and Atma Nivedanam, are performed in Raganuga Bhakti and explain Abhideya and Prayojan. The most important process in devotional service is chanting Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his discussion with Sanatana Goswami says, भजनेर मध्ये सर्वश्रेष्ठ नवविध भक्ति कृष्ण प्रेम कृष्ण दीते धरे महाशक्ति तार मध्ये सर्वश्रेष्ठ नाम संकीर्तन निरपराध नाम लैले पाय प्रेम धन. Of all the different varieties of devotional practices, topmost are the 9 processes, Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. And they have the 2 potencies, Krishna Prema, Krishna Dite, Dhare Mahashakti. 2 great potencies, Krishna Prem. It can award us love for Krishna, and then Krishna. Krishna Prem, Krishna Dite, Dhare Mahashakti. Then he says, Taramadhya Sarvasreshta. In 9 also, the topmost is the chanting of the holy name. And one who chants without offenses, he achieves love for Krishna. Then next teaching of the Vedas is the ultimate goal and the original position of the jiva is to be situated in bhakti or prema, love, pure love of God, engaging in devotional activities. These 9 items are based on the Vedas, which are considered to be the source of all true knowledge. Why is it an offense to blaspheme the Vedas? He raises the question. What's the problem? But the answer is that the Vedas emphasize the chanting of the Lord's name as a means to attain the supreme personality of Godhead. Even the greatest personalities in the spiritual sky are always engaged in chanting the holy name. Since the Vedas consider the chanting of the holy name as the most important process, it is a great offense to criticize the Vedas, because then the holy name is criticized as well. It is said na adi madhye ante cha hari sarvatra giyate. He says bharate ramayane chaiva, something like that. In Mahabharata, Ramayana, Puranas, all that, Itihasas and all that, Adi Madhye Antecha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. Whether you see in the beginning, when the middle, or at the end, Hari, the glories of the Lord only are sung. So thus, holy name of the Lord is very much glorified in all the Vedas. So one who offends the Vedas, he criticizes the holy name. That becomes an offense to holy name, Nama Aparad. It looks like Shastra Aparad, but the Shastra Aparad becomes Nama Aparad because Shastras glorify the holy name. So one should not offend the scriptures. How should the Vedic conclusions be applied? The sum total of all Vedic conclusions results in the pure devotional service by which the living entity attains pure love of God. Wherever the principal teachings of the Vedas can be applied, it would be wrong to use secondary teachings instead. From the beginning to the end, the Vedas emphasize the importance of the holy name. By chanting the holy name, the living entity attains the supreme spiritual realm. Because the pure devotees always seek the shelter of the holy name, the complete Vedic knowledge is revealed to them and they attain pure love of Krishna step by step. So because Vedas glorify holy name, one who takes the holy name, shelter of the holy name, pure devotee, he gets the revelation of all the Vedic literature, knowledge within the Vedic literature. यस्य देवे परा भक्तिर यथा देवे तथा गुरो तस्यैते कथिता हि अर्था प्रकाशन्ते महात्मनः. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith both in the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and the spiritual master, all the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. So having complete faith in the holy in Krishna, so Krishna is non-different from holy name, and complete faith in Guru says at the time of initiation mainly, my dear disciple, chant. Here are the beats. He doesn't give books and saying that please read my books, please read Prabhupada books daily. But it is understood Prabhupada books essence is chanting the holy name. But he gives the beats and requests, please chant every day the holy name. So one who chants the holy name, he gets revelation of all the scriptures. In fact, all the scriptures culminate in holy name only. Just like Bhagavad Gita ends with giving up all the religions, duties, and just surrender to me. We are supposed to give all our duties, conditional duties, and only have one constitutional duty of surrendering to Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Drudavrata, like that. But in Bhagavatam, which is the beginning of, end of Bhagavad Gita is beginning of Bhagavatam, Dharma Projita Kaitavatra Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam. That all kinds of Kaitav dharmas, cheating religions are kicked out from the pages of Bhagavatam. And the Bhagavatam ends with Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranama Dukkha Shamanastam Namami Harim Param. Just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam, all the sinful reactions are destroyed. Pranamo Dukkha Shamanas, And by bowing down to the Lord, pranama dukkha shamanas, all the distress of the living entities removed. Tam namami harim param. To such Lord Hari, I pay my obeisances. So thus, Bhagavatam ends with holy name. One should chant the holy name. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is nothing but all throughout Sankirtan only. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with this devotee, that devotee, many devotees, they are all chanting together. So that is all throughout Sankirtan only. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was instructed by his spiritual master, Nacho gao bhakta sange karo sankirtan Krishna upadesha kari tarayai jan. That you dance, you sing, come together with devotees and perform Harinam Sankirtan. Also instruct others into the teachings of Lord. So all throughout we find Sankirtan only. So that's why it's a great offense to offend the Vedic literature, which foretell, which extol the glories of the holy name of the Lord. How can the fourth offense be rectified? If one blasphemes the Vedic scriptures by mistake, one should openly repent and offer obeisances to the scriptures. We have Bhagavatam, so keep Bhagavatam on table and offer obeisances. Because Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna, we can offer Dandavat Pranam, Ashtanga Pranam. With great respect, one should offer flowers and tulsi leaves to the Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic literature. Because the Srimad Bhagavatam contains the essence of the Vedas, it is an incarnation of Krishna and will bestow unlimited mercy upon the sincerely repentant offender. One should develop full faith that his life will be successful if he follows the scriptures that describe the glories of Sri Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This advice is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam itself. The Bhagavad Gita also says that Yashastra vidim usrujya vartate kamakarataha nasa siddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gatim. 16th chapter, maybe 22nd, 23rd verse somewhere. So he's saying Yashastra vidim usrujya. So one who gives up the rules and regulations within the scriptures, vartate kamakarata, and he acts kamakarata, impelled by his material desires, sinful desires. So nacha siddhim avapnoti, he does not reach perfection. Na sukham, he does not get happiness. Na param gatim, and he will not get ultimate destination also. So he is destroyed in all different ways. In this life he is not having happiness. After death he will not achieve ultimate success, and he can never have siddhi, perfection. So one should not give up scriptures. Tasmat shastra pramanam te karya karyo vyavasthiti. So scriptures give what is good, what is to be performed, what is not to be performed. One should not reject scriptures. One should wholeheartedly accept scriptures. In fact, we should do everything in our life, speak everything in life, and even think everything in life based on the scriptures only. Then only we turn out to be the Vyakti Bhagavats, person Bhagavats. In conclusion, we should follow the scriptures which describe the glory of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the same time, the Srimad Bhagavatam reminds us to avoid blaspheming other religious scriptures such as the Bible, the Quran, or the Talmud by giving a good example. Just the example is there in Bhagavatam itself, 11:8-10. Just as the honeybee takes nectar from all flowers, big and small, an intelligent human being should take the essence from all religious scriptures. We don't offend Bible, Quran, or any other with any other literature which glorifies the Lord according to different faiths in the world, because they are also describing the Lord's glories according to the audience. That is fourth offense. Any question on this?
We see sometimes devotees when they read Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, like reading they become absorbed in the scripture, and even sometimes I say in the absorption also, like on the bed or on the phone we read. Is it like considered this one?
No, not so much. Because we walk on the foam also, we should not keep the scripture on the foam. If you are holding in the hand, that's not a problem. Similarly, we should not keep on this also, mats and all that, because we walk on that. Nor should we keep our bead bag on this. One devotee was corrected by Prabhupada that your beads are touching, a bead bag is touching to the mat below. He said, Prabhupada, the beads are not touching, beads are safeguarded by bead bag. I said, what a nonsense. So one should not be Shudra kind of mentality like that. One should be Brahminical. One should not touch it to the ground. We walk on the floor on these mats also. So we should not keep holy books on that. Especially if Hare Krishna Mahamantra is written or some spiritual thing is written on that. So we should avoid it. One question online. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pamho, please accept my humble obeisances as your aspiring servant. This is one Mataji, Samiksha Mataji. She is studying BSc, I think. Prabhuji, Krishna himself comes in Kali Yuga as Shastras, Vedas. Mainly Bhagavatam, not exactly Vedas. Vedas are there earlier also. He says, कृष्णे स्वधाम उपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह कलो नष्टदृशामेष पुराणार्को अधुनोदितः. When Krishna left for Golok Vrindavan after completing his pastime along with religion and knowledge, then all the people in Kali Yuga were put in darkness of ignorance. In order to dispel this darkness, Krishna again arose in the form of brilliant sun, in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam it refers to. So committing offense to Vedas is equal to committing offense to Krishna. Is this understanding correct? Yes. Especially Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna and the nectar of devotion. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is Srimati Radharani. Because that is the complete science of devotional service. So we should not disrespect Krishna in the form of Bhagavatam. We should not disrespect Srimati Radharani in the form of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Otherwise, we will not be able to practice devotional service properly by offending Srimati Radharani. She is our heroine. She is our mistress for all time. Because we want to perform devotional service. Krishna does not get attracted to Jiva, but he gets attracted to the devotion in the heart of the Jiva. And that devotion is part and parcel of Srimati Radharani. The Jiva is part and parcel of Krishna, but the devotion in his heart is part and parcel of Srimati Radharani. So thus we can never afford to offend Srimati Radharani in the form of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, nor should we offend Krishna in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Vedas also in general, they can be regarded as Krishna only. It is Krishna Vani only, Krishna's flute sound. When Krishna plays fifth note on his flute, that enters in the ears of Brahma and it comes out as Vedas. So it is Krishna's flute sound. Even Bhagavad Gita is also said to be Yaha Swayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padmad Vinishrutaha. Yes, Swayam Padmanabhasya. Padmanabh, Lord has lotus navel. From his lotus lips only, Yaha Swayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padmad Vinishrutaha. From his Mukha Padma. Lord has lotus navel, but from his lotus lips, lotus mouth, Mukha Padmad Vinishrutaha, this nectar of the Ganges is flowing. Nectar of the Ganges of Bhagavad Gita. Ganges is flowing from his lotus feet, but Bhagavad Gita is another Ganges, another nectar which flows from his lotus lips. How to deal with unintentional offenses and the offenses that we even don't know that we committed. We discussed in the morning, unintentional offenses are forgiven when next day morning we pay obeisances to Vaishnavas in particularly. So unknowingly committed offenses are forgiven. Apart from that, we continue serving Vaishnavas. So then the Vaishnava who felt that we offended him or her, they understand, oh, this devotee is serving me very humbly. So I think that day he did not kick me with his leg, but that might have been by mistake. And he is very simple, humble. Unknowingly committed offenses is not a big problem. But knowingly committed offenses because of false ego, that's a big problem.
Commentary is written over that that may belong to Mayavadi category.
So we ask the followers of Mayavad Sampradaya, what is your philosophy? And whatever they say which is not in line with scriptures, we attack on that philosophy. We don't offend the person who speaks that philosophy, but we correct the wrong things within the philosophy. So that way, that is perfect. Ask him what is the Siddhanta, what is your Siddhanta? So he will tell wrong Siddhanta. So Apasiddhanta Dhvanta Harine, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Pranati Mantra. He did not tolerate any kind of deviation from Tattva. Like that. Any other? For contrast. Scriptures. Not a problem. Recently, His Holiness, what is his name? Bhakti Bhagavad kya? Parivraja Pracharak Maharaj. Huh? What is the name? Bhakti Pracharak परिव्रजक महाराज. हाँ, प्रचारक परिव्रजक. Okay, ठीक है, you all know. So long name, but we have to learn also. So he was telling very nice thing. He began his class on Sunday in Pune. He was taking that slok. विद्यामध्ये कोण विद्या सार. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. So he began with was that Bhakti Siddhanta Sarjarakur, it seems. He said that because Ganges floods Bengal quite often, especially Navadvip area, in rainy season particularly. So they experience floods quite often. So that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes comment that in case floods come, flood water comes in your house, and then you cannot carry many things with you. You will naturally go to first floor because ground floor will be filled up with water. You want to save your life. So you can carry only few things because too much is not possible. So then carry 3 scriptures: Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. But then water level rises to first floor also, and then carrying more things is still difficult. Even these 3 scriptures are not possible. Then you can keep Bhagavad Gita and go up the floor by carrying Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. But then after again water level is rising only. You have to go to higher floor, and then you have to give up some more luggage. Luggage means books here. So then you give up Bhagavatam, and then you go with Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. But then again water level is rising, and if you don't give up this thing, then you might die. So he says better you die, but you don't leave Chaitanya Charitamrita. You die with Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita only. So very wonderful, very striking, very amazing. So why? Because Chaitanya Charitamrita. That doesn't mean, he also clarified that we are not demeaning any scripture while speaking like this. But basically that still exists. Just like we say, Shantaras, Dasaras, Sakhyaras, Vatsalaras, Madhuraras. So each one is increasingly higher only. In Dasaras, the traits of Shantaras are already there, but something more also is there, servitude is there. But in Sakhyaras, there is fraternity also. Not fraternity, what do you call? Fraternity, huh? Yes. Friendship is there, and then fraternity, I think, in Vatsalaras. And in Madhuraras, all 4 are there, plus loving dealings and all that. So there is no problem that way. We don't demean the other scripture. Any other?
Some religions, like, they are based on impersonal aspect of God.
Impersonal
Aspect of God. So impersonal aspect also, that also, like, it is also Mayavadi.
No, there is difference between Brahmavadis and Mayavadis. Brahmavadis know that the Supreme Absolute has a form, but they are madly attracted by that Brahma Jyoti. But Mayavadis say Krishna's form, his eyes, everything is material like ours. His body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. So they are offenders. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very clearly said, Mayavadi, Krishna Aparadi. Mayavada Bhashya Sunile, Haya Sarvanash. Impersonalist, just like Shukdev Goswami was impersonalist. 4 Kumaras were impersonalists. So that is not that severe. There is incomplete understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth. But this is very dangerous understanding. Understanding this is completely offensive only. Avajananti mam mudha, manushim tanum ashrita. Param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta mahesha. Jananti means to know. Ajananti means to not know. But avajananti means to deride Lord. So this is derision of the Lord. This is not good. What Mayavadis do. Okay. Any other? So okay, we go to the 5th offense then. In short, it is Sanskrit, it is called as Arthavad. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination or exaggeration. Some people consider it a great exaggeration when they read in the scriptures that by chanting the holy name only once, one is freed from more sins than he is ever able to commit. Did you not also ask yourself at times, I have been chanting more than once, but still I am full of so many faults. So we may say, it is written there, one will get rid of millions of sins, since one cannot even commit, think of committing. There it is very specifically said, if one chants purely, helplessly, offenselessly, then one gets rid of all the sins which one cannot even think of committing. But there are statements in the scripture wherein it is said that all the sins will be eradicated. So then I see in my life it is not eradicated. What is this? We at times may doubt the scriptural statements. Skeptics argue that the policy to offer enticing results is frequently found in the Vedic scriptures, and thus the wonderful effects of chanting, as for example that the chanter becomes free from anxiety, are mere bets to motivate the reader. Bait is there, meaty bait by fisherman at the end of the hook, so that the fish will be hooked, will be stuck over there. So like that, scriptures also offer some baits by telling that he will get this, he will get that, some enticing results basically. So that's what they say, skeptics. They don't believe in the power of the scriptures or power of the spiritual practice mentioned in the scriptures. But the goal in Bhakti Yoga is completely different from attaining personal gain. It aims at satisfying Krishna. In other words, it is a matter of selflessness. So we don't read Bhagavatam and find out, okay, what should I do to get a son or a daughter or a money, that kind of dhanarti labate dhanam, vidyarti labate vidya, putrati labate putram, shadabhir masam lavet, something like that. Japet Ganapati Stotram, shadabhir masam phalam lavet. Just 6 months you keep reading Ganapati Stotra, and vidyarti will get vidya, dhanarti will get dhan, mokshati will get moksha, putrati will get putra, whatever artha you want, that you will get. So that is not the goal when we read the scriptures or approach Bhakti Marg. Our goal is to satisfy Krishna. You understand? To get purified at heart. We don't want anything material from the Lord. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatat Bhaktir Ahetukit Vai. Birth after birth, O Lord, I want to serve you. Thus, the unparalleled results of chanting the holy names which are mentioned in the Vedas, such as the annulment of planetary influences and the gradual awakening of love of God, are fully realistic glorifications of the holy name. They are not exaggerations to attract the conditioned souls. After all, the Vedas instruct the conditioned souls in the process of selflessness, with the final aim to develop pure love in their hearts. Why then should it try to stimulate them by offering selfish goals? This would be an irreconcilable contradiction. The results which are promised are bound to appear in the life of the chanter sooner or later. Whatever Vedas say will happen. Depends on the quantity, intensity. That if one is very intense, he says, na, akamo sarva kamo va moksha kamo udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Tivrena bhakti yogena. One should practice bhakti yoga to the Lord with tivrata, with intensity. Then whether he was akama, with no material desires, sarva kama, all desires to enjoy world and material desires, and moksha kama, he wanted to get liberation, merge in the Brahma Jyoti. They all should practice Krishna consciousness bhakti with great intensity. They are like seeds that fructify in due course of time. It depends on two factors: the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and our sincere endeavor to avoid offenses. So this is bound to happen. Very soon all of us will be pure devotees. So we should avoid offenses and we should earnestly beg for the Lord's mercy. Just like Prabhupada said while chanting, the mood of a child should be there. He is crying for mother. When he cries, child cries intensely, then mother comes running, giving up all the household chores and immediately takes him in the arms. Here we have Yashoda Mata taking Krishna very wonderfully. So Krishna always depends on Yashoda. She always takes him in her arms. So we should intensely cry out. We should beg for his mercy, just like a child begs. Prabhupada sometimes would, Saraswati would be their small girl, so he would pinch her cheeks like this, very hard, and she would, Prabhupada said, like this you should cry for Krishna. And all would laugh, and she would be wondering, what is this? First of all, Prabhupada twisted my these cheeks, and when I cried, then everybody is laughing. So, like that. Prabhupada wanted to show how to cry. How can the fifth offense be rectified? What is to be done if one thinks that the glories of the holy name are mere imagination? One should go to an assembly of devotees. This you will find for every offense, the rectification is you have to go to devotees. That's why the first offense becomes the worst of all offenses, by offending Vaishnavas only. Then how will you rectify any of the other offenses committed? Because for every offense you have to go to Vaishnavas only, assembly of Vaishnavas. In their association, one should hear with great attention about the Lord's pastimes and qualities. One should present his doubts desiring sincerely to obtain proper knowledge. The devotees who are fully conversant with the glories of the holy name will mercifully forgive and embrace the offender. Thus, one will not repeat this offense. So we have to beg to know the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna from the scriptures, and the devotees will read from the scriptures and they will narrate. So thus offense will be nullified. We might have neglected the scripture. Something might have happened, some offense, so that can be rectified. One devotee was saying, what is the cost of Prabhupada's books? Now, like we have any book of Prabhupada, let's say Perfection of Yoga I have. So, what is the cost? I got it from Go Down. This is not Perfection of Yoga, but if I have it. So, what is the cost of that book? 30 rupees. No, it is 0 rupees. Because I just got it from the Go Down. Nobody has read it. Nobody has read it, so it is 0 rupees. Now you once go through the book, you read the whole book. So now it is 30 rupees books. 30 rupees book. Now you read second time, so it will become 60 rupees book. Then you read third time, then it will become 90 rupees book. Now you may say it has become second hand, third hand. Now it should reduce the cost. No, it's the opposite. Perverted reflection. Na? So every time you read the book, the cost increases, the value increases. And when you don't read the books, you reduce the value of the books. So it will become offense. One should not just keep Bhagavad Gita as it is in the shelf. One should read also. Otherwise it is offense in one sense. Some devotees say that, okay, I may not read Prabhupada's books, but at least I am distributing. Isn't it great? That is okay, but still we have to read. Prabhupada wrote the books for us first and then for distribution to outsiders. So not reading the scriptures also will be offensive. Next. Okay, any question on fifth offense? Yes.
You said that we should practice bhakti intensely. What is the meaning of intensely?
Intensely means quantity also and quality also. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam. Intensity of the body is through quantity. Morning, the moment you get up till night you sleep. In fact, night also you should arrange in such a way, you should, while sleeping also, we should pay obeisances on the bed and pray to the Lord, oh Lord, I am going to take rest now, just to get rid of the exhaustion that took place while serving you today, and so that I rejuvenate my energies, so that I can serve you more and better tomorrow. So that is for 6 hours in advance only we are telling. Why? What is this devotional service of sleeping that I am going to do for 6 hours? Why I am doing that? Just to get rid of exhaustion of today and have more redoubled energy for tomorrow. So that is satat. And then bhajatam priti purvakam, with love. He says, aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. That Krishna says everything emanates from me, both material worlds and spiritual world. So the wise who know this, they worship me with all their hearts, entire heart. Heart means what? I should take out my heart and not that way, but with all the bhav. Buddha bhava samanvitaha. Buddha means intelligent people. Bhav, the emotions, spiritual emotions. Samanvita, saman, पूरा साथ में ले लो, इकट्ठा कर दो, and एक साथ भगवान को अर्पण कर दो. So that is called as intensity, both quantity and quality. All your time, 24 hours, you should give to Krishna, and you should give your heart. You should give your body, you should give your words, but you should give your mind and your chitta, your heart also. Then Krishna will be pleased. Several places in Bhagavad Gita he says, Mayi eva mana adasva, mayi buddhim niveshaya, or manmana bhava madbhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. This is twice. Then Maya saktamana patha yogam yunjan madashraya asamchayam samagram mam yathadnyasya tachrunu. Then yam yam api smaran bhavam tejati. No, not next to that. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha, or mayarpita mano buddhir. Man buddhi. Every time Krishna is asking for our mind, our attention. Basically he expects our love. Yes. First of all, book distribution is overflow. It is when you read Prabhupada's books and or other books, the Krishna comes through hearing in one sense. Reading means we are hearing the Vani. The Acharyas have spoken it. So then you take it and heart gets filled with Krishna. Krishna is getting inside Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Then Krishna starts overflowing. That is preaching. It could be through book distribution, one-to-one preaching, street sankirtan. It can be in any form. So basically, I have got Krishna. So I want to distribute Krishna. Acharyas have given Krishna to me, gifted Krishna to me. I want to give to others. And as for Prabhupada books, Prabhupada sacrificed his life in order to give this knowledge to one and all. I am the recipient of this benefit of knowledge Prabhupada gave me. I want to give it, share it with the whole world. Prabhupada also wanted. So basically I am a servant. Just like Prabhupada's mood in going to West, what was it? That Srimad Bhagavatam is going to West to preach the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna. And one coolie is required. I wish to be that coolie, Prabhupada said to his god brothers, Bon Maharaj and others. So that's our mood also should be that. And I am the coolie. Just like you see na, I am carrying this bag every time with me. What is there? 10 crore rupees or 1 kg of gold is there in this. In these books are there, Prabhupada books. I will show you. So I am the coolie of these books. See so many books. And who is going to take books here? All of you have. If you see the bag becomes empty more or less when I remove these books. Books are heaviest in this. But I am coolie of Prabhupada's books. So I will carry them everywhere. What if in this program some new person I meet somehow? Milkman comes and I meet him. I can show him the book and said, sir, would you like to have? You all will not take because you are all scholars. You have read you have read these books 10 times I believe. So you will not. You might be knowing by heart also. क्या प्रभु जी आप कैरी करते हैं हम तो उसको ऐसे कंठस्थ है फर्स्ट पेज टू लास्ट पेज विल जस्ट फटफट विल कीप स्पीकिंग सो दैट्स व्हाई वी डोंट कैरी बुक्स सो यू आर इंटेलिजेंट पीपल ऑफ IIT BHU आई एम नॉट इंटेलिजेंट आई बिकम द कूली सो कृष्णा सेज न तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चिन् मे प्रियकृत्तमः देयर इज नो वन मोर डियर टू मी देन ही हु preaches my message to others. So we want to preach, but how much we will preach? Prabhupada said, what will your 3 minutes of preaching do? Give him my book, I will preach to him. So when we give Prabhupada book to anyone, we are allowing Prabhupada to preach. Let's say this small book, so thin, is going to take 2 to 3 hours to read for that person. So thus I am arranging one-time program for that man with Prabhupada as the speaker. And he is the only in the audience, 1-to-1. Such a nice opportunity I am arranging that one-time program. And what if he reads second time, or his wife reads, his parents read, children read? So I have arranged so many times one-time programs for Prabhupada. And if they come together and read, then it's like a weekly program I have arranged. And Prabhupada is the speaker in all cases. And I am just the organizer, I am just the servant of Prabhupada. So we get a lot of blessings of Prabhupada. But first and foremost, we should read these books. Otherwise it is useless. Not useless, but it's not so useful. You don't know what you are distributing. Prabhupada did not appreciate that so much. Any other? Yes. Hare Krishna.
To practice bhakti yoga intensely, we need form determination. How to have that form determination?
By coming in the ashram of devotees. Bhakti is contagious. So when we come in the ashram of sincere devotees who are very intense, so we become very intense. How did these hippies who were so sluggish and so ignorant and lazy fellows, they were completely rejected by their society people. How did they become so active? Getting up early in the morning, 4 o'clock, and going for street sankirtan for 7-8 hours after morning program, evening another program, then going to other countries, opening centers. How much they were busy? Morning 4 o'clock getting up till night 10 o'clock sleeping. They are completely engaged. We are not so engaged. Even brahmachari like me, I am not so engaged like them. They all, Prabhujis, Mataji's, brahmacharis, sannyasis, all would be on the street after morning program. First of all, 4:30 to 9:30 they have attended. Then after prasadam, they go out on the street immediately. And they are there on the street for 7-8 hours till evening 6 o'clock also. Then they come back to temple. Then they take prasad. Then they have Tulsi Arti, then Gaur Arti, then Nasim Arti, and then Bhagavad Gita class. And at the night, half an hour while taking milk, they are hearing Krishna book. One devotee is ready. And then they sleep. What an intense life. So when we come with devotees, we become very determined. Also, when we get rid of our sinful reactions, Esham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam drudavratah. Yesham tu antagatam papam. Those people who acted piously in the past and in this life, those who have exhausted their sinful reactions, they worship me with great determination. What is that last line? Bhajante mam drudavrataha. Drudavrat, like Kartik Vrat, Chaturmas Vrat, Drudavrat, greatly determined, because there are no sinful reactions. So the path is very clear. It's express highway, and one is running on that. So it's very smooth. But if only I am carrying luggage of 20 kg on my back, and I am running, so it becomes very difficult. I'll be tired. So those who are very sinful, when they take to bhakti, it becomes difficult for them because sinful reaction baggage is there. But if they surrender to Krishna through the medium of pure devotee, then the baggage is at once off the bag, and then one can run fast also. Is that okay? Okay, sixth offense is called as Hari Namni Kalpanam. To give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. The meaning and effect of the holy name should not be interpreted. This includes the attempt to explain the effect of the holy name with biophysical processes. A student once claimed that by chanting, various chemicals are released into the body, causing certain brain centers to be strongly flooded with blood and thus affecting something like ecstasy. This is an example of Harinamni Kalpanam. In Germany, a man tried to convince Srila Prabhupada that chanting works like hypnotism. He is trying to convince Prabhupada. He chanted and he figured it out how it acts like hypnotism, and he is convincing Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada answered, no, it is not hypnotism, it is purification. Because when heart is purified, then one feels ecstasy for Krishna. And this fellow's interpretation is, it creates some hypnotism, works like hypnotism. Somebody else is saying certain blood is flowing more in the brain and all that, so one feels something like ecstasy. It's all mundane interpretation. This should not be done. That is Harinamni Kalpanam. Another interpretation is that Krishna means black. Someone who is black, that is the argument, cannot be understood. This is the reason why Krishna cannot be understood by chanting. All these interpretations of the holy name are offensive. So people have all imaginations, all interpretations. One lady told Swamiji, when I chant Hare Krishna, then I see red light is on in my brain. Prabhupada said, continue chanting, the bulb will be switched off. She was wondering. People are crazy fellows. So, they figure it out. Rather than continuing to chant and asking Swamiji, what is it about, they are giving their own interpretations only. The mundane interpreter tries to explain totally spiritual phenomena with his material logic. The holy name has inconceivable spiritual energies, as we have seen in chapter 2. It is the sound incarnation of Sri Krishna. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar Nama Haite Hayas Sarva Jagatanista. Krishna has appeared in the form of holy names. It's a sound vibration, sound incarnation of the Lord. The attempt to regard the holy name as a part of this world and equate it with anything material is foolish. We cannot equate holy name with anything. Our Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there are only two spiritual things in this world, Jiva and the holy name. The holy name is spiritual and comes from spiritual world. Golokera prema dhana harinama sankirtana. This is from Golok Vrindavan. This is not from here, not from your Varanasi. Maybe your what is that, Banarsi sari is there. It's not Petha from your Agra or somewhere. That may be from Agra, but this is from Golok Vrindavan. Or this is not Laddu from your Delhi. I don't know what all other things which are famous around. Prayagraj? Nothing. Sweet. Okay. How can the sixth offense be rectified? As with the fifth offense, one should admit in an assembly of devotees and beg them to enlighten one about the true nature of the holy name. With a repentant heart, one should beg for forgiveness for offending the holy name. So they will give the perfect interpretation, as our acharyas have given. Prabhupada himself has given several understanding of the scriptures. That is meaning, you can say oneself, but understanding also. Somebody may say, there is nothing here. Okay, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So all glories to Lord Ram. 2-3 times he is saying Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So in one sense 3 times he is glorifying Lord. But here what is there? There is no Om, there is no Namaha, there is nothing there. Only Hare Krishna and Ram, names only. So how to find out the meaning of this? You don't have to find out the meaning. Acharyas have given. Oh Lord, please engage me in your loving devotional service. This is one meaning. Second, Prabhupada says, oh Lord, please accept me. These are all moods. I am your lost child. So please accept me. Please engage me in your loving devotional service. Also, oh Lord, please attract me to yourself in the form of holy name. Because Ram means, Krishna means all attractive. And also it means please enjoy me. Because you are Ram. You are the supreme enjoyer. So please enjoy me also. I am your small servant. So there are several meanings, interpretations which are perfect. So we should read, we should hear them in the assembly of Vaishnavas, from the devotees who have been chanting for years with deep absorption. They will enlighten us about the meaning, interpretation of the holy name. Seventh, any question on sixth? Yes.
What is the meaning of Krishna enjoying us?
He's all attractive, so let him attract me. And Krishna, not Krishna, Ram. Ram is the supreme reservoir of pleasure. So let him enjoy me, because he is the enjoyer. But he enjoys, that's why you enjoy. If he doesn't enjoy, you won't be able to enjoy. Or your so-called enjoyment would be on mental platform, which will, over a period of time, will be lost. That's why some devotees say that earlier it was so enjoyable, now I am not feeling ecstasy. Because of the offenses, and the mental platform is off now, and spiritual platform one has to be on, which one is not able to get on. So then he faces difficulty after some time. So Krishna enjoys us, that's how we can get enjoyment. Yathamam prapadyante. What you enjoy in chanting or devotional activities is awarded to you enjoyment by Krishna. Why? Because you offered enjoyment to Krishna. He says, Ladhini karaye Krishna ananda aswadan, Ladhini ra dwara kare bhaktera poshan. When we perform any of the 9 processes of devotional service, we offer Srimati Radharani to Krishna. And who is Srimati Radharani? She is the Alladini potency of the Lord. She gives pleasure to Krishna. So you, whether you are hearing about Krishna, you are speaking about Krishna, you are remembering Krishna, you are massaging Krishna's lotus feet, you are offering obeisances, deity worship, any of the 9, you are offering Radharani to Krishna. So Krishna becomes blissful, he becomes mad. Oh, this devotee gave me Radharani, who gives me so much pleasure. So I give him Radharani back. Ladinira dwara kare bhaktera poshan. He gives Radharani back to you because you offered Radharani to Krishna. So in return he reciprocates by giving Radharani, and that Radharani nourishes you. Kare bhaktera poshan. You feel nourished. You feel, wow, आज के आनंद की जाए और हरि बोल. You are in ecstasy. So where is that ecstasy coming from? Because Radharani is flooding your heart. And who gave Radharani to you? Krishna. And why he gave to you? Because you gave Radharani to him. So we are the beginners. We begin the process. We are the initiators of the process of giving pleasure to Krishna. So Krishna reciprocates. Is that okay? Yes.
While introducing this holy name to any person, sometimes we also talk about the scientific benefits of this devotion. Like there are researchers at IIT Indore or other universities. So
some alpha brain waves, something like that. It's in 8 to 15 something range, I think.
So is it not a misinterpretation?
No, it is not misinterpretation. Those are devotees, and it is true in that sense. But then also we are telling in a material way, in one sense. Better we tell directly that we are lost souls, we are away from Krishna, and this is the way we are calling out to our parents, Radha and Krishna. You ask him in a day, if you go to your parents and you go to your mother and say, I am very hungry, give me the food. Then after some time, okay, I am going to college. And you don't use the word mama, mummy, ma, and similarly father also. I need money for my college, give me money. But you don't call him papa and all. So how will the father feel? How will the mother feel? We are asking for everything without addressing them. They will feel very bad. They long to hear from their children, papa, mummy, ma, pitaji, jo bhi hai. So like that, this is called to the original father and mother. They are our fathers. Pitamahasya jabo. You can quote so many slokas. So that also you can tell. Otherwise they remain on materialistic platform only. That alpha, beta, zeta, whatever that afterwards may stop. And then some other problem. Any other? Okay, then seventh. Seventh is in Sanskrit, Namno balad yasya papa buddhihi. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. So, what is sin? He describes. Because committing sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. So, first of all, different stages of sin. According to Vedas, 3 stages: ignorance, the desire to commit a sin, and a sinful act in itself. The origin of all sinful activities is in ignorance. That's why Srila Rupa Goswami Pad says that Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya Pittopatapta Rasanasya Narochikanu Kintvadarad Anudinam Kalusaiva Jishta Swadvikramat Bhavati Tadgata Mulatad Hantri. So he's saying Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapi Avidya. Avidya. Sitapya Vidya, but if you split it up, Sitapi Avidya. Though holy name of Krishna, Sat Krishna Nama Charit Adi, Krishna name, fame, qualities, pastime, and everything else. This is Sitapi. It's very sweet, but Avidya, because of Avidya, ignorance, then one is not able to experience sweetness in holy name. And because of the Avidya, what will the devotee do or materialist person do? He will have tendency to commit sin. Because he doesn't have Vidya, how the consciousness should be used for thinking of Krishna, knowing about him, hearing about him. So his mind will think of some dangerous thing only, which will be not according to scriptures, forbidden act, which is called as sin. And then he will do sin also. Atakkena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichchanapi varashnaya baladiva niyojata. As Arjuna asks in Bhagavad Gita, that by what is one impelled to commit sinful activities, even though unwillingly? One knows this is not good, still some force within is impelling. What is that? Lust. And what is it? It is again ignorance. That all the activities should be for the pleasure of Krishna's senses, but not knowing that, I try to satisfy my senses, which becomes lust, and I end up in doing some sinful activity, and thereby I get sinful reaction also. So tendency is there, and one does sinful activities also. It is very important for a devotee to remove the cause of sin and ignorance to make further progress on the path, spiritual path. To this end, it is important to obtain spiritual knowledge. That's why Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreyottam. One should approach spiritual master. Or Tadviddi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadikshantite Jnanam Jnanina Sapurush. When we have knowledge, then we will not be in ignorance, and thereby we will not be impelled to do sinful activities. But without knowledge, then naturally it will be troublesome. And calm is also such, it covers our knowledge. Avruttam jnanam etena jnanino nitya vairina kama rupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha. Avruttam jnanam etena jnanino nitya vairina. Calm is the eternal enemy of jnani. तो अज्ञानी के बारे में बात ही क्या करें? Can't talk only. ज्ञानी का नित्य वैरी है, तो अज्ञानी का तो ultra eternal enemy kind of. So it covers the knowledge of Jnani also. Just like Vishwamitra Muni, when he saw Menka, did not even see ideally. His eyes were closed. Just by hearing chan, 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 chan. She was not walking so fast, but at that time is limited. So then all his bells inside his heart, tang, 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 tang. Who is that? And he opened eyes, and she was undoubtedly beautiful. He got carried away. 10 years were wasted. So he was in full knowledge. That's why when she left, he was thinking, "Arey, what nonsense! I never came to forest for searching for Menka. In my kingdom, there were many beautiful girls. I gave them all up because Vishwamitra Muni was earlier king in competing with Vashishta Muni. He wanted to become Brahmarshi, and in the process, he was performing austerity, and he got distracted also. So thus, what was the reason I was telling? So ignorance is very dangerous. Or somebody had asked question. Avrutam Jnanam, that was thing, but nobody had asked question. No? Okay, so we'll go ahead. So spiritual knowledge is very important. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. 24 hours we should. Prabhupada says in Tokyo, I have one place, Prabhupada says, one should read my books 24 hours a day. You should read 24 hours a day my book. I do that. 2 times he's saying. 24 hours we should read Prabhupada books. And after that, whatever hours remain in your one day, you can do any damn thing. eating, sleeping, whatever you want. But please make sure every day 24 hours you read Prabhupada books. Okay? That is what it means by Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. 24 hours one should read Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because you will be so much in knowledge, you will not commit sin. Or you will not be even attracted to sin. As long as the devotee is dwelling on the intermediate stage between sinful life and pure life, he will keep a certain relationship to his past sins. Some neophytes on the spiritual path vividly remember their past sinful lives. They reside in a grey area of not yet being fully determined to accept everything favorable for their spiritual advancement. Their actions may already be spiritualized, but their mind is still attached to previous habits. How many of you feel like that? All of us. So gross body is engaged in spiritual activities, but subtle body is not yet pure. It is thinking of past sinful activities of this life. Previous life impressions are anyway there, but this life itself, there are quite some. Our Gaurang Prabhu says even brahmacharis who join brahmacharya ashram, he says it is like 100 चूहे खा के बिल्ली चली हज को. एक चूहे को खाया, फिर दूसरे को खाया, तीसरे को, अभी 100 चूहे होके खा के, तो बोलती अभी थोड़ा ज़्यादा पाप हो गया, थोड़ा हज को जाके सब पाप जीरो करके आती हूँ, फिर नेक्स्ट वो 101st रैट नहीं रहेगा, वो फर्स्ट रैट रहेगा, क्योंकि 100 का निर्मूलन कर दिया ना, हज को जाके आ गए. तो ऐसे ब्रह्मचर्य ऑल्सो so many sins. We may say Ajamil saw one thing and got so much distracted. We are seeing so many things. Why I am not agitated? So His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj says it is like in a pure water you put even one stain of ink or something, blue ink, it immediately becomes bluish and all that. But in gutter water you pour the whole ink bottle also, it doesn't show any change on it. It is so dirty. So our hearts are like that. शुक्ल वस्त्रे मसी बिंदु जय छे न लुकाय सन्यासी अल्पचित्रे सर्वलोक गाय. On शुक्ल वस्त्र, in the white dhoti or kurta, masi bindu, one drop of ink, you cannot hide it, immediately becomes visible. Similarly, little stain, loophole in the character of a sannyasi, sannyasira alpachidra, सर्व लोक गाय, everybody say, hey, वो सन्यासी ने पता है कि अब क्या किया, उसने एक पान खाया. और ये उसके दिन का 10वां पान चबाते चबाते बोल रहा है, ये सन्यासी ने पान खाया, और उसका आज के दिन का 10वां है, और आप 10 भी लेगा वो सोने के पहले तक, तो वो बोलेगा कितना एक पान लिया 50 साल के बाद, ये तो रोज 50 पान खा रहा है, लेकिन प्योर लाइफ है ना उसका, तो इसलिए देयर शुड नॉट बी एनी स्टेन. So we have that problem of gross body engaged in spiritual activities but mind not yet pure. Their actions may already be spiritualized but their mind is still attached to previous habits. Thus it may occur that they fall back on them. However, as long as they do not commit further sins in this intermediate period, the effects of past sins will soon vanish. And the more they are absorbed in chanting the holy name, the sooner these stresses will completely fade away. That will go away. Just like that's why in medicines we have, when we are sick, then we are given medicines to get rid of the problem, but simultaneously we have pathya also, diet also, no oily item, no this, no that. So otherwise what will happen, you take medicine and the disease is gone, and you break the pathya, then what happens, again the disease will aggravate. You get it? So both things should be there. So one side we should go on with spiritual activities, and other side we should follow the pathya also. Certain things are forbidden, no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. So one should not do that. We may think, if I am chanting always, what's the problem if I get into any of these 4 sins? That's why scriptures say, Smartavyam satatam Vishnu, Vismartavyam na jatuti. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So for always remembering Krishna, you should always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Or read Prabhupada books 24 hours a day. That is to remember Krishna. But any time you engage in breaking any of the 4 regulative principles, immediately you will be forgetful of Krishna. That's why scriptures say in the other way. It looks like same only. Why is saying again? Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. It's one and the same. No, it is different. It is there. So if you break any regulative principle, immediately you will forget Krishna. So that's why that also has to be followed. Prabhupada so many places in his books write, devotees should chant and they should avoid the 4 sinful activities. Otherwise we'll forget Krishna. You might have remembered Krishna like anything for 23 hours and just after that you break any of the 4 regulative principles, you will forget Krishna. As simple as that. This is very dangerous. Then intentional and unintentional sins, he elaborates. It is important to distinguish between intentional and unintentional sins. If a devotee commits a sin without purpose, a so-called accidental fall down, this sin is only temporary and will be washed away by the power of the holy name. But if a person commits intentional sins, thinking that the bad effect will be washed off by the power of the holy name, then he cannot be regarded as a serious devotee. He is a cheater and will have to face the bitter result of his offenses, that is fear, lamentation, and eventually spiritual death. This is what will happen if we intentionally commit sinful activities. Even the mere thought of committing a sin with the intention to annihilate it later through the strength of the holy name cannot be compensated by any remedy. What to speak of someone who actually commits the offense? Only a materialist can think like that. Such a person cannot be engaged in devotional service. In no case is it allowed to commit sins, thinking they will be forgiven by the strength of the holy name. We must not think of it at all. Even thinking is not allowed. That's why we should have spiritual engagement, spiritual thinking. I have this service, that service. So many services should be there, more than our capacity in a day. We should be overwhelming with services. I think the other day I was telling Raisham would give us services, and we will say, Prabhu, in 10 days we cannot complete this, and you have given so many for one day. He said, no, this is not for one day. As much as possible cover today, then whatever remains tomorrow, whatever remains in 3rd day. By the time weekends I will come and I will give you 10 more services, which will take again many days for you to complete. So one should always be busy with Krishna conscious activities. Then we will be refraining from sinful activities. Otherwise, empty mind is devil's workshop. Immediately all the wheels start rotating. Oh, I should do something. When one is lazy, one is in ignorance, when he is alone, he will sleep. When one is crazy in the mode of passion, when he is alone, he will do something dangerous, some sinful activity or thought of sinful activity. Only person in the mode of goodness, when he is alone, he is very clear, calm, cool-headed, and he can do something tangible. He can make planning, he can read Prabhupada books, chant Hare Krishna. Alone, not a problem for him. So we should make sure we are not alone. We be with the devotees. Even physical presence of a devotee, he is doing his thing and you are doing your thing, it will safeguard you from doing sinful activity. How many of you observed that? So you may be in one corner chanting Hare Krishna and he may be in another corner studying. But just by his presence, you can see that you don't do anything nonsensical and you will not speak any nonsense. Your mind may sometimes think, but sometimes because of his presence also, it will not happen. So thus, every devotee is very important in our life. Even the mere thought, okay, that we saw. Then, where is the borderline between the two kinds of sin, intentional and unintentional? Whereas a smaller or greater blunder is unintentional, here we speak of intentional sins, if they are premeditated or planned in advance. In the previously mentioned offenses, there are always possibilities to neutralize them. Here, for the first time, the consequences are very severe. Sometimes, let's say, you went to ask for Janmashtami fund collection donation or Rath Yatra donation to your old friends, and exactly when you went, they are all drinking. You knew that they are drunkards, but they drink sometimes in the day, and exactly when you went, they were drinking. They are all 10-15 of them, and they say, come on yaar, बैठ जाओ, and smell is there, and they give, अरे come on, भूल गए कि यार हम आप भी तो हमारे, आप तो हीरो थे हमारे, आप ओवर ड्रिंकिंग करते थे, तो फिर and something they say, and by mistake one ends up drinking. से लड़खड़ाते होते वो वॉइस में आता है वो और टेम्पल में आता है वो, but and then he feels what after hangover is over, then he is wondering what nonsense. So this was not known that they would be drinking when I go for, and he had gone for Janmashtami fund collection. He had not gone to drink. So this is unpremeditated, unintentional. But somebody thinks, I know my friends drink this time only, and मुझे भी थोड़ा पीने की इच्छा हो रही है, यहाँ मंदिर में नहीं पी सकते, तो थोड़ा उसी समय जाता हूँ. So then this is a problem. This is a big problem. That earlier one, that one is Krishna says, what he says, Shashvat Shantim Nigacchati. क्षिप्रम ही भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वत शांतिम निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि नमे भक्त प्रणश्यति. Very soon he gets he becomes righteous. Chiprami bhavati dharmatma shashvat shanti man attains lasting peace. Kaunteya, oh my dear Arjun, you declare it boldly, my devotee never perishes. And before he says, apicheta suduracharo bhajate mam ananyabha sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. Apicheta suduracharo, one performs most abominable activity, but unintentionally, unpremeditated fall down. Apicheta suduracharo bhajate mam drud ananyabha. But when he comes to his senses, he feels, what a nonsense, how did I do this? What a fool, Maya cheated me. Krishna, because I went little away from devotees, I thought it's okay, but Maya kicked me like anything. Then he comes to senses and then he chants 32 rounds that day because some sin happened from his hands or something. Something, he drank wine or he drank tea, something may happen. So that is unpremeditated. So that is forgiven. And Krishna says, Sadhu Reva Samantavya. I consider him to be a sadhu. Samyak Vyavasito, because he is well situated now. I know one devotee, he was traveling in a train and in the afternoon he slept in the, berth. And in delirium something happened. He got up after half an hour, 1 hour, and the vendor of the, van, pantry car. So he was passing by, he said, hey, wait a minute, how much that vada pav cost? And that person said, 15, 20 rupees. He purchased the vada pav, he ate the vada pav, and then he remembered, hey, what is this? In this vada there will be onion garlic. He came to his senses. But he was sincere. He went to his another friend in few next to next bogie, and he said, Prabhu, this is what happened. I don't know how I did it. First of all, I gave money. Gave money for what? Nonsense. That vada pav I ate already. So then that devotee said, no problem. It was maybe some kind of hallucination because you are sleeping. Something. Because sleep is in the mode of ignorance also. Sometimes ghost can also haunt you when you are sleeping. And also we are not... yeah, something can happen. Something can happen. So this is unintentional. Not that he slept and then he pretended to get up and then he purchased vada pav. Something, delirium, something happens sometimes. In our temple we have a brahmachari, he gets up in the midnight, he walks around the temple in sleep, and then he comes back and sleep. अच्छा है अगर चोर वगैरह कोई अरे बाप रे ब्रह्मचारी कैसे क्या इतना बराबर चौकीदार सोया है गेट पे या अंदर ही ब्रह्मचारी पूरा टहल रहा है वो टहल नहीं रहा है वो सोया है उसको पता ही नहीं क्या चल रहा है कहाँ घूम रहा है उसको कुछ भी पता नहीं होता राजशंप्रू वन स्वाइम राजशंप्रू अरे कहाँ जा रहा है पूरा घूमपुर के आ गए वापस अच्छा मंदिर में रहता है बाजू में एमजी रोड है घूम फिर के कहीं चला ना जाए तो yeah, all of us, some people speak in the night, some people snore, all varieties of things happen. Ignorance is ignorance only. Some people drool. Once a boy I saw upper berth, he got up and he was so much drooling. My God, I was wondering. बेसिन पास में ही था इतना दूर तो था ही नहीं था बट वो उधर के उधर ही पूरा people sleep with their shoes also. One reason is because they are fearful shoes will be stolen. Some people keep on the fan and give everyone the dust of their shoes. So ignorance is dangerous. So this is because of ignorance. In one sense, ignorance will lead to unintentional sin, and passion will lead to premeditated sins. It is through the process of devotional service that one attains perfection. But if one rejects the process, especially by abusing the unique strength of the holy name for the fulfillment of sinful desire, then his lifespan, mind and words will be ruined. Lifespan also decreases by committing sins. No one should think himself to be an unimpeccable position due to his chanting and being situated in his spiritual life. These thoughts and their succeeding actions have disastrous effects. A neophyte may consider himself to be in an especially privileged situation as he lives now in Krishna consciousness. He may think that now, being protected by the power of devotional service, he can do what his mind and senses dictate to him. This is the I am saved syndrome. I am saved. Now I can do any nonsense in life. No problem. And chanting is there anyway. As long as one is on the stage of Namabhas, he has to be aware of this offense. If we are in bad association, we are likely to return to our old habits. For example, many devotees were previously great lovers of rock and roll music. After some time in Krishna consciousness, they may hear the rolling stones again and get into circles where they used to go before their spiritual life. Thus, it may happen that they attend a concert of the Stones, that group, cultivating the company of their former friends, and again they are entangled in sinful life. Therefore, it is very dangerous to cultivate bad association. In this way, one should always be vigilant on the lookout for possible danger. One should be careful of feeling safe in one's position as a Vaishnava who chants Hare Krishna and then gradually commits sins. Especially on our level, we should always avoid bad association. So we should not think I am safe. I am chanting Hare Krishna. Now I can, some little bit here and there, what's the problem? Some say it's okay. No, one should not be casual like that. Otherwise casualty will happen. Chanting destroys all anarthas. The best means to become free from sinful propensities is to sincerely take shelter of the holy name with pure motivation. The holy name is eternally situated in pure goodness. Only very rare fortunate souls can take shelter of Krishna's holy name. The process of chanting quickly removes the anarthas in the heart and causes Rudhay Daurbalya, weakness of the heart, to disappear. Someone who develops unflinching faith in the holy name will immediately be released from the propensity to act sinfully. Then his heart will shine with resolute purity. Chanting softens the heart and evokes compassion for all conditioned souls. The chanter is constantly endeavoring for their spiritual well-being. He cannot bear to see the sufferings of the conditioned souls and tries by all means to deliver them from their distress. He has no lusty desires, no urge to enjoy the senses. He accepts only what is favorable for executing devotional service and rejects that which is unfavorable. He is convinced in all circumstances that Lord Krishna is his protector, savior, and maintainer. He does not identify himself with his body. In a humble state of mind, he constantly chants the holy name of the Lord. In this way, he loses all inclination to commit sinful activities. So, this is all important, the attitude of the devotee and his actions, what he thinks, and thus he will be humble and he will not commit sins. How can the seventh offense be rectified? If by some error this offense is committed, one must cleanse oneself in the assembly of pure Vaishnavas. Sinful desires are like thieves on the path of bhakti, and the pure Vaishnavas are the guardians of this path. One should therefore call aloud the name of his guardian, the spiritual master. Jai Srila Prabhupada! Jai Srila Prabhupada! Anytime sinful, you are getting impelled by some sinful activity, it's like you are alone on highway and some robbers are robbing you, going to rob you. So what you should call out to police? Police! Or help! Something like that. You should call out Srila Prabhupada or Gurudev, somebody, some spiritual master. For when the guardian appears, the thieves run away. Since the Lord personally confirms to be our guardian, one can chant Krishna's name as well. Loudly shout, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the robbers of sins, sinful desires, they will all run away. What about devotees who repent and come back to spiritual life after having committed sins? Since they consult the assembly of pure Vaishnavas, they take up the above mentioned process and can be re-established in their spiritual life. Especially if they take shelter of the spiritual master, the sinful thieves of bhakti will run away. Devotees who return, however, have generally committed unintentional sins due to weakness of their heart. Those who deliberately commit severe sins, desiring to hurt devotees, rarely come back to spiritual path. Lord Vishnu personally places obstacles on the path of those who offend Vaishnavas. It is that Krishna puts the seeds of material desires in the heart of Vaishnava offender. Very dangerous. One should not commit offenses to devotees. Let us summarize. Whereas the all-merciful Lord is prepared to forgive the unintentional blunders of devotees, He does not tolerate when someone commits premeditated sins, calculating to be excused by the chanting of the holy name. So that should be avoided by all means. Any question on the seventh offense?
What is
Weakness of the heart. That is having 4 divisions. What are the? You remember? Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives Asat Trishna. They are the 4 the categories, but within that also 4 divisions are there. Asat Trishna, Aparad, Rudhay Daurbalya, and Tattva Vibhrama. So these are the 4 anarthas in the heart, and each of these four has four description, but that will be there in this book. I will tell you maybe later. Any other?
Fault finding.
To the degree we are not attentively chanting, to that degree heart is filled with Maya. Krishna is not there, so Maya is there, so that will be seen through fault finding. One devotee said, and it is true, that every disease has a symptom. Just like during lecture I sneeze, so you understand I have some cold, and I cough, then you understand I have some cough. And in between I am doing something like this, so you understand I may be having headache. So some symptoms are there, they reveal the disease. So fault finding is the symptom and the disease is envy. When we have envy toward anyone, we will see fault in him. As I always say, like our mother and father, there are so many defects in them. Our father may have specs, mother may have specs. They may be dark complexion. Father may be having bald head. His hair may be white. There may be mole somewhere. He may be very thin, kind of undernourished. He may be very fat. But we don't see any fault in our mother or father. Why? Because we love them. Whereas your friends will say, hey, तुम्हारी माँ कितनी मोटी है? Hey, मेरी माँ को मोटी बोलता है? So we'll be very angry on him, isn't it? Because we love her, we don't see any fault in her, isn't it? Yes or no? But whereas we see so many faults in devotees, because we have envy towards devotees. So beware. Any devotee you see any fault, even one fault, that means you have envy toward that devotee. So appreciate devotees. And here, see devotees with spiritual vision. Don't see with charma chakshus, these fleshy eyeballs. With that you will see faults only. See one good shining top quality. Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mutta Sangha Param Rajat. He chanting Hare Krishna. Just that's what Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, in assembly of Vaishnavas, if some devotee started offending another Vaishnava, immediately Raghunath Bhatta Goswami would say, just the fact that he is chanting Hare Krishna is enough for me to overlook all his whatever faults. Just that is enough. He chants Hare Krishna. That is supreme quality. Kaler dosha nidhe rajan. Kali Yuga is fault of ocean of faults. Asti he ko mahan guna. One supreme top quality is there. Kirtan. He is chanting Hare Krishna. That is enough. Why to see other things? You are having no man or woman who has been given the rights to see faults in others. His counselor can see that also, they correct him. Not that they see fault with envy. If a counselor, if a president or guru, sannyasi, anybody sees fault with envy, he will fall down. That's the danger of Vaishnava. We already read it in the morning. So no question. Yes. Any other? Okay, so just a little bit about 8th offense. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karmakand. Dharma, Vrata, Tyaga, Hutadi, Sarva, Shubha Kriya, Samyam. So he quotes Namachintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Shuddho Nityamukto Abhinnatvam Nama Namino. Namachintamani Krishna. Krishna's holy name is a Chintamani, it's a transcendental touchstone. Namachintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, it is live, and Rasa Vigraha is completely filled with so much ras. Purna Shuddho, completely pure. Nitya Mukto, eternally liberated. Abhinnatvam Nama Namino, there is no difference between Krishna, the person, and his holy name Krishna. Nam and Namni, Nami, both are same. But when we offend, we commit offenses, then these two split up, as I told in the morning. Then when we are chanting holy name with our lips, Krishna does not come in our mind. Nami doesn't come. Nam is coming, but Nami is not coming, because they become bhinna. They are abhinna, but they become bhinna because of our offenses. They don't become, they are abhinna only, but they become bhinna for us because of our offenses. So one should not offend. What is the difference between chanting the holy name and pious activities? The holy name is directly Krishna. The way and the goal are mean. The end and the means and the goal are the same. Just like if you, in Karmakanda they do Hom, Havan, Yagya. For what intention Karmakanda? Going to heaven. And in heaven will they do Yagya, Havan? No. Then they will take heavenly Madira, they will go with after the damsels, Apsaras, they will go to Nandan Kanan garden. By Gyan Yoga also, they will read scriptures and argue and so many things. And what is the intention? What is the goal? Merging in Brahma Jyoti. So will they read scriptures over there? No. So you see, the sadhana and sadhya are different. Sadhana is karmakanda, whatever, yagya, etc. And sadhya is enjoying heavenly way. There is no yagya there. And here the sadhana is reading books, etc. And sadhya is merging in Brahma Jyoti. Similarly, tapasya also. He is performing all such tapasya, yogi and all that. And is the whatever goal he wants to attain, will he do tapasya there? No. But in bhakti only, we are chanting Hare Krishna here. After going to Golok Vrindavan, what will do? Will unlimitedly chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada was asked, by chanting these 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, what do you want to achieve? Prabhupada said, more chanting. And that man was shocked. Already you are wasting 2 hours and you want to chant more than 2 hours. What a crazy fellow. He thought like that. So only in devotional service, what we are doing here, we will be doing in Golok Vrindavan also. Here we are speaking about Krishna, there we will be speaking. Here we are hearing about Krishna, there we will be hearing. Here we are remembering Krishna, there we will be remembering. Here we are worshipping Krishna, there we will be worshipping. Here we are massaging Krishna, there we will be massaging Krishna. You have seen the one photo, I think Balramji is massaging Krishna's lotus feet. So this is what we will be doing. Same things we will be doing there also. So this is the beauty of devotional practice. Sadhya and sadhana are same. The end and the means are the same. As for ordinary pious activities such as altruistic work, fire sacrifice, yoga, purifying baths at holy places, varnashram duties, demigod worship, austerity, etc., the means or the way and the goal have to be distinguished. Such actions are solely material, although they are good material activities and bring a good material goal. But how can they help to attain a spiritual goal? Chanting, on the other hand, is already the goal. It is Krishna himself. One must definitely act in the mode of goodness to be elevated gradually. But ultimately one has to give up all material activities, good and bad, and act only for Krishna's pleasure. Chanting, however, is never to be given up, not on the conditioned platform, nor in the liberated stage. So we may use the mode of goodness, but ultimately we give up goodness also and we come to the mode of pure goodness. So the mode of goodness is like that springboard. The swimmers use, no? They climb on a height and the springboard is there and a little bit, jump there, like this, the spring action of the springboard, and then when it is going up, they lose the contact and do somersaulting and they fall in the swimming pool and then they swim. The goal is to swim in the swimming tank, but they use that springboard for some time. So like that we use also mode of goodness, but ultimately our goal is to be in pure goodness. Chanting will never be given up, whether we are in the conditioned state now or when we are liberated, going to Golok Vrindavan also. Then he talks about the original form of the holy name. No activity can be compared with chanting the holy name. The Supreme Lord is the transcendental Son. His divine form is fully spiritual. All his deity forms are absolute, just like his name, his abode, and his pastimes. Unlike objects made of inert matter, which are separate from their names, the holy name is non-different from Krishna. The holy name chanted by a pure devotee descends directly from the spiritual world, Golok Vrindavan. It emanates directly from his soul, permeates his entire body, and dances on the tip of his tongue. One who chants like this is actually chanting the name, whereas he who nourishes a material concept of the holy name is lost. So one should not consider it to be like some other auspicious activity. Taking bath in holy river, nothing can compare it. Even he says in some Skanda Puran, I think there is a verse that if one thinks one holy name is equivalent to 1 crore Ashwamedh Yagyas, so such comparison is hellish and he will be punished by Yamaraj. Dande Tare Yama. Eka Ashwamedh, Eka Nama Koti Ashwamedh Saman, something like this. So Dande Tare Yama. Say Pashandi. So one should not compare. Means 1 crore Ashwamedh Yagyas cannot be compared with holy name. Holy name cannot be compared with anything. Nama sama vastunai ye bhava samsare name se paramadhana krishnera bhandare. Srila Haridas Thakur, Namacharya Haridas Thakur is telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Harinam Chindamani that there is nothing of this world and all the things of this world cannot be compared with the holy name. नाम सम वस्तु नहीं ये भव संसारे नामे से परम धन कृष्णेर bhandare. In Krishna's bhandar, treasury also, the topmost thing is holy name. Because Krishna has everything of this creation except our hearts. And we give our hearts to Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. By chanting only we give our heart to Krishna. So that's why what is incompleteness in Krishna gets completed. What Krishna lacks, he gets when we chant holy name. That's why holy name is the topmost treasure in Krishna's treasury also. Such a nice, amazing thing. How can the 8th offense be rectified? If one commits this offense, it is advisable to go to the Vaishnavas and obtain Sambandha Gyan in order to remove one's ignorance. One should avoid this mistake in the future and start to chant seriously. After having spoken about 8th offense, Haridas Thakur addressed the following prayer to Lord Chaitanya. This is in Harinam Chintamani. Quote, My dear Lord, my thoughts and my intellect are thoroughly mundane. Therefore, I simply mouth the names of the Lord. I am too unfortunate to experience the transcendental touchstone qualities of the holy name. O Lord, I beg you to please appear as the holy name and dance on my tongue. I fall at your lotus feet and pray. If you like, you can keep me in this material world and deprive me of the spiritual sky. Whatever you desire, you are free to fulfill. But please, let me test the divine nectar of Krishna's holy name. You have incarnated amongst the jivas to distribute the holy name, so kindly also consider me an insignificant jiva. I am a fallen soul and you are the savior of the fallen. Let this be our relationship, O Savior. On the strength of this relationship, I am begging from you the nectar of the holy name. Unquote. By cultivating such a humble and eager attitude, following in the footsteps of the Namacharya, the 8th offense can surely be avoided. So that is in short about 8th offense. Any question on 7th and 8th? Tomorrow we'll discuss 9th, 10th and 11th. Because the root cause of sin is ignorance. Yes, that's why we should have practice also, devotional practice, because that is theoretical knowledge. It should be backed up by practical physical activity. So then it will flood our heart, fill our heart. Otherwise the knowledge may be somewhat in the brain only. It might not have sunken in the heart. It should be basically seva. Knowledge plus service is equal to realization. When you are a realized soul, then you can avoid falling prey to any sinful tendency. So just knowledge is not enough in that sense. But hearing can also be done as service. Because there are 9 services. And the first is hearing in one sense. So if hearing is done in the mood of service, that itself will give you realization. That's why the first class disciple is one who hears and understands. He does hearing itself as service. But if that is not done as a service, that is done for some other ulterior motive, then we require some physical service backing up our knowledge, and then it will convert into realization. And then we will be having sufficient strength to say no to Maya in the form of some sinful proclivity, urge within, which comes up sometimes. Any other? Yes, just to reciprocate. Prabhupada has given our Krishna, this is transcendental sound vibration. Prabhupada uses the word submissive oral reception. How do we do reception? We go on the pathway of the guest whosoever is coming. So let Krishna is coming through the pathway of my ears. This is the pathway, like this is coming. He is coming from Golok Vrindavan, and it is coming all the way through this path to my ear hole. And then through this he enters in the heart. That is my house. I reside in my heart. And Krishna comes as my guest. So Swagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna, so Swagatam Krishna, Sharanagatam Krishna. So I am receiving Krishna in the form of transcendental sound vibration. This is Shabda Brahma. Brahma means the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahma, Parabrahma. So he is coming in the form of Shabda, transcendental sound. So I am receiving him. So that I do as a service. Guest reception is a service. So when that is done as a service, then it itself will lead to realization. There is no need of anything physical to be done. This itself is done as a service. Hearing seva. Prasad is also seva, honoring prasad. Shravan seva, Kirtan seva, Smaran seva, Pada sevanam seva, Archanam seva, Vandanam seva, Dasyam seva, Sakyam seva, Atmanivedanam seva. These are all sevas only, 9 different types. Any other? Yes.
Sometimes we intentionally commit some sin and उसके बाद हमें repentance होता है but हम फिर से wrong करते हैं तो that is the why
Yeah, intentionally how can we commit?
we know that it is wrong
Hmm.
but we fall short we commit that sin and we seriously repent but
Then Krishna will forgive, but then we have to avoid it in the future also. First time we fail pray, we may feel, okay, it was suddenly attack happened. Second time it happened, that means we have to know we are weak. We are susceptible to the attack of Maya through that particular sin. So we have to take some positive remedial steps in order to avoid future attacks or future getting victimized by that. We have to do something, otherwise we are weak only. Spiritual activities we can engage and we have to practice sincerely, become more strong, and that happens in the association of devotees. One should run to the association of devotees so that alone Maya will attack us. That same example of highway robbers. When you are alone on the road, then they will attack. If you shout for police or acharyas or devotees, then they won't. They will run away. So intentionally is not good. Premeditated. Arjuna is also saying atakyena prayuktoyam, and by what is one impelled? That is lust. So one has to overcome the lust by love for Krishna, by loving devotional service.
When we hear that, like, devotees also sometimes just simply hearing itself is also not, but it should convert into service.
No, hearing is also seva. Parikshit Maharaj, what he did? What he lifted some pots and washed pots or what? He kept hearing only. That in itself is enough. So many glories of Shravanam only. That's what I am saying. If it is done as a service, Krishna is coming, submissive oral reception. I am receiving Krishna. Guest reception is a service. That will give realization. So this is receiving Krishna in the form of transcendental sound vibration. Shabda Brahma. So that is good.
Suppose some service is there, like some service you have to do, and suppose our chanting is remaining. So if we do not do that service, then it may cause inconvenience to other devotees. So in that case, what should we prioritize? We should prioritize that service.
You should approach your counselor and ask him. Many times he is just available physically, or else he is available through phone call. And that is okay for that day. Afterwards, the counselor and counselor should sit and they should make your schedule properly so that this situation does not arise in future. Those who fail to plan, they plan to fail. Both are services only. One is Pada Sevanam. Physical services all fall in the category of Pada Sevanam. And chanting is Kirtanam. And reading Prabhupada books, etc. is Shravanam. And Smaranam through all devotional activities, Smaranam to whatever degree. So certainly chanting is the topmost, but then we should do some physical, as you said, it causes inconvenience. So how did your chanting remain? Why was not it completed in the morning? So that requires some expert guidance.
Suppose in morning itself that service has to be.
So depending on whether it is urgent, important, not urgent, important but not urgent, neither important not urgent, or urgent and important. आग लगी है उधर, नहीं प्रभु मेरा जप करता हूँ तो आग बुझानी पड़ेगी, तो हम जल के खाक हो जाएंगे. So we have to do that. Okay. Or there is no gas in the cylinder. I said no, I will chant 16 hours. But then the breakfast will not be ready. Then the chapatis have to be cooked on your hot head because the pan is not hot and you are very angry. क्या है breakfast? इतना 16 माला तो किया था मैंने. So we have to see what is it required. Some things can be postponed. They need not be done that time. But some things cannot be postponed. Tap water means the overhead tank is empty. Then deity worship, cooking, everything cannot proceed. We have to do switching on of that motor or whatever. Yes, any other?
When we are like reading these spiritual books and there are chances that we indulge in that thing, but somehow some thoughts comes in mind. We prioritize that thought and we just in between we just stop the reading book. Is it a bad?
That way it is a mistake of the mind slipped over. But we can read loudly if you want. Then what happens? Mind cannot wander so much. Mind is क्या हुआ? अरे वही तो बता रहा हूँ, पढ़ो. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name. Similarly, in chanting also we can chant loudly one Mahamantra in between or something. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. जो सोए हैं उनको भी उठा दिया और आपका जो माइंड भटका हुआ है वो भी ठिकाने पे आ गया. क्या हुआ? अरे वही तो कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे. हाँ वही सोच रहा था पिछले 1 घंटे से इधर बैठ के कर क्या रहा है, अभी समझा तू. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू ऑब्जर्व दैट? कुछ समझ में नहीं आता कि 1 घंटे से मैं किया क्या हूँ. हाँ ओके ठीक है, 8 माला किया शायद, 8 बार गया नीचे. वी आर वेरी एब्सेंट माइंडेड because mind is not pure. Ignorance attacks. Gross body, this gross body slips, SLEEPS, and mind, subtle body, slips, SLIPS, slips. Both are sleeping only. But one is grossly sleeping and other is subtly sleeping. So we have to do the needful. It is offense in that sense. Any moment we don't remember Krishna, that is offense. Forgetfulness of Krishna is the greatest curse, the greatest offense. But then we are offensive only. We are very sinful. And we are trying to increase our remembrance of Krishna by positive spiritual activities. Yes, any other? Any other Mataji has question? Okay, should we end? Whatever you have, otherwise we can ask tomorrow also. We'll continue tomorrow. 9, 10th and 11th. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. How many of you are remaining for, you did not receive Mahaprasad? This is just what you call booking, and now we will not give. Everybody got, huh? So you have brought, huh? Jai, Hari Bol, Radha Gopal, huh? Sheshadripuram, that means Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki, Shri Shri Gaurangi Bangaloreshwar ki, and Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Prabhupada. But then offered to the Lord. Yeah. But you will break with your teeth or with? Well, then it becomes yours.